Have you ever had one little thing go wrong and then suddenly your brain spirals into the absolute worst case scenario? Like you mess up at work and suddenly you're imagining being homeless in like 6 months. Or you feel a weird ache in your body and then you're already Googling symptoms, convinced it's something fatal. Yeah, that's catastrophizing. And today we're going to stop that cycle in its tracks. Hi, I'm Patrick Fern with TransformingSad.com, and I help people just like you rewire anxious thoughts and get back to living the life of their dreams. Now, if you've been struggling with stress, anxiety, or health worries, I want you to know you're not broken. Your brain just picked up a few unhelpful habits, and today we're going to unlearn one of the biggest, catastrophizing. Now stick around, because not only will I give you all the tools that actually work, I'll also include journal prompts to help you apply what you learn. And if you're dealing with health anxiety specifically, I'll show you where you can access my completely free 12-week health anxiety course that uses CBT at the end of this video. Cool? All right, let's dive in. So catastrophizing is when your brain jumps to the worst case scenario before it even knows what's real. It usually starts small, like, I'm feeling off today. I made a mistake. That person didn't text me back. And then boom, you've mentally dove headfirst into a disaster. Why do we do this? Well, it's because our brains are wired to overestimate danger and underestimate our ability to cope. It's an old survival mechanism, but in modern life, it causes panic, depression, indecision, and emotional paralysis. Imagine this. You text someone and they don't reply for 2 hours. Your brain whispers, they're mad at you. Then yells, they hate you. And then declares, you're going to be alone forever. Sound familiar? Yeah, I've had similar thoughts happen to me as well. So it's time to break out of that mental health journal of yours. So let's do some journal prompts. I want you to think of a recent time when you jumped to the worst case scenario. Okay? So here's your first prompt. What actually happened? What happened the most recent time when you jumped to the worst possible case scenario? Was it true? Or was it just your mind playing tricks? Now, the next prompt. What did your mind tell you would happen? How accurate was it? Did it come true? All right, so go ahead and pause the video and write in your mental health journal. So I'll review the prompts one more time. What actually happened when your mind jumped to the worst case scenario? What did your mind tell you would happen? How accurate was it? And did it come true? And real quick, before we dive deeper into the subject, I wanted to let you know that I have put together a completely free CBT for catastrophizing, a 5-step quick reference guide. Now just click the link in the pinned comment to download it. All right, so moving on, let's talk about why we do this, because understanding the why gives us the power to change. Here are the 3 main reasons we catastrophize. Our mind is trying to protect us in its own weird way. Now, if we think about it, if we imagine the worst, we think we can be emotionally prepared for it, right? So if we plan for the worst and hope for the best, then we should hopefully be mentally prepared for it. But spoiler alert, it really just makes us suffer twice as much as necessary. Number 2, we confuse feelings with facts. Feeling anxious doesn't mean there's actual danger, but our brain treats it that way. Number 3, it's a habit that we learned from our past life, our trauma, or our upbringing. Now, if you had critical parents, a chaotic childhood, or chronic stress, your brain may have learned to expect chaos as a coping mechanism. And that's okay. It means your brain adapted. But now it's time to reprogram your brain. So let's jump into another journal prompt. You will find that we do a lot of journal prompting on this channel, but there's a good reason for it, because it helps us put down our anxious thoughts and to analyze them. And then we'll hopefully realize that that's all they are. It's just thoughts. It's not your reality. Okay? So break out your mental health journal. Here are your prompts. Where do you think your catastrophizing habit started? What is the root of it? Did someone in your life model this kind of thinking? Was it a parent or a friend or a family member? Now, it's important that you be gentle as you explore this, as awareness is the first step in the healing journey. Okay? So how does catastrophizing affect your brain and your body? Here's the wild part. Your brain and body don't know the difference between a real emergency and a mental one. So when you catastrophize, your brain activates the fight or flight response. Your cortisol level and adrenaline spike, your heart races, muscles tense, and your stomach churns. You become hyper alert to danger, whether it's real or imagined. And in the long term, this contributes to general anxiety, panic attacks, health anxiety, social withdrawal, and even depression. And it's exhausting when you're living in a world of imagined fires and your nervous system never gets to rest. Now, the good news? This is totally reversible. And with practice, you can retrain your brain to stop reacting this way, and I'll show you how. So here are 5 steps to break down and stop catastrophizing in the present moment. Number 1, name it to tame it. When the spiral starts, pause and say, "This is catastrophizing." Just naming it pulls it out of autopilot and into your awareness. So let me repeat. When your spiral starts, pause and say, "This is catastrophizing." And just the act of naming it pulls you out of the autopilot mode and puts you into the present moment awareness. Okay? Number 2, reality testing. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have of this worst case will happen? What evidence do I have that this worst case scenario that my mind is going off on will actually happen to me? What are 3 outcomes that are far more likely to happen? And even if the worst happens, could I handle it? And most of the time, you realize you've survived far worse. Number 3, use even if thinking. Instead of saying, "What if I mess this up?" Flip the script and say to yourself, even if I mess this up, I'll learn from it and move on. This will soften your fear. Right? So whatever your catastrophizing thought is, learn to flip the script and turn it into a positive instead of a negative. That way we are retraining our mind, rewiring it to think positive thoughts. So number 4, practice uncertainty exposure. Catastrophizers often crave control, but life doesn't offer guarantees. Try this mini challenge. Let yourself not check your email, text, or symptoms for an hour. Rest in this discomfort and practice staying with it. Observe it as you would your breath during a breathing exercise. No labels, no judgment. Just observe it. What I like to do is observe it as though it's a child having a temper tantrum, right? Children don't know how to express their emotions, so they'll go off and get trapped in their emotions and have a tantrum. And oftentimes when we're catastrophizing, our mind doesn't know how to process strong, powerful emotions. But if we remove ourselves from that and just observe it as though we're observing a child having a temper tantrum, is the world crashing down? The child might think so, but what's the reality? It's just their emotions. It's just your thoughts. That's all. It is temporary. It is impermanent. It will fade with time. Just observe. No labels. Okay? So let's go into a mindful breathing exercise, number 5. So have you ever noticed that when you're spiraling out of control and your breathing gets shallow? I know I have. Mindful breathing is an excellent tool for countering catastrophizing and can be done anywhere. Here is a simple yet powerful breathing technique you can do right now and you can do anywhere. So it's inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale for 6. Okay? So I will count for you. All you need to do is breathe and hold your breath. All right, let's do it. Now, important, while you are doing this deep breathing exercise, repeat this mantra in your mind. Okay? So imagine you've just had catastrophizing thought in your mind. Okay? Repeat, I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. Or you could say, it's just an anxious thought. It's just my mind playing tricks on me. Whatever mantra suits your trigger, whatever you need to tell yourself. The important thing is to remind yourself that you are okay, that it's just a thought. Okay? So let's breathe. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And allowing yourself to breathe normally and naturally. Let me ask yourself, how are you feeling right now? Let me know down in the comments how you are feeling after the breathing exercise. Okay? After you leave your comment, let's do some journal prompts. Yes, they are important. Please make sure you do them. So, which of these 5 tools help the most for you right now? Which one do you find is the most helpful? So write this in your journal. It's very important. What's one small step you can take this week to practice it? What is an actionable step you can take to practice, to break the chain, break catastrophizing thoughts? Okay, so it's important that you understand that the goal isn't to stop having scary thoughts. The goal is not to believe them blindly. Instead, you should simply observe them the way you would observe your breathing during a mindful breathing exercise. And this is very important. Your thoughts are simply suggestions, not commands. When your mind says something like, "This will be a disaster," you can say, that's one possibility, but it's incredibly unlikely. And little by little, you start building a habit of self-trust. And when you learn to stop catastrophizing, you face uncertainty with courage. You stop avoiding life just because there's a risk. You start living, not just surviving. I know that when I got stuck in my catastrophizing episodes, I missed out on so much life. I lost years of my life because of mental health issues, and I don't want that to happen to you. It is possible to rewire your mind, and that's why I'm doing these videos, to help you break your health anxiety, to end catastrophizing. Make sure you like and subscribe if you find this content helpful to you. All right, so breaking out the mental health journal again. What would my life look like if I trusted myself more than my fears? Let me repeat. What would my life look like if I trusted myself more than my fears? Describe one area where you want to stop catastrophizing and then take action using one of these 5 techniques, or all 5, even better. Okay? So, in closing, you are not broken. You've simply developed a bad habit. Okay? Your brain is doing its best with what it has learned up to this point. You didn't have anyone to teach you the right way to program your mind. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help teach you to reprogram this. Think of this like a computer. Okay? So, but now you're in charge, and you can choose to build a calmer, more empowered relationship with your thoughts. And if your catastrophizing is tied to health anxiety, like always fearing illness or misreading body symptoms, I've got you covered. I've created a free 12-week-long health anxiety course for people just like you. It's a gentle step-by-step video series to help you break the loop of health fears and reclaim your peace. Check the link in the description for the playlist. Okay? And you can get access right now. And I've also got another link where you can download all the worksheets for the entire 12 weeks. Okay? So, if this video helped you, please give it a like. Comment below with the word calm so I know you're a part of this journey. It means a lot to me if you could just write calm if this helped you in any way, so that I can create other content like this. And make sure you subscribe for more tools on healing your mind, body, and soul. You are doing great. And you are learning to interrupt fear with awareness. This is an incredibly powerful tool, well worth your time to dedicate and create a daily practice around it. So once again, there's a link for the free guide on how to stop catastrophizing now and take back control of your life. So click on the link in the pinned comment to download the free guide. You can print it out and review it every day this week, or however long it takes you, to help you break that catastrophizing thought cycle. Okay? So once again, my name is Patrick Furr with TransformingSad.com, signing off, wishing you excellent mental health. Namaste.